motivation did you have off the field? How are you able to keep focused on winning football games as you do and do throughout the year? When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Marketing come up with that for him. Those were his phrases that he came up with, that he believed in.
Just win. Play hard. Try not to make mistakes. But don't worry about mistakes, because there's only one thing that counts. Just win. Just win.
Yo, welcome to the SC Raiders Talk, aka boy SC, man. Also, welcome to RaiderTwuan. He'll join me in a bit. But shout out to everybody, man. Another week of the 2-for-1 Nation podcast, man. It's good to see everybody, man. Hope all is well. And hopefully, you guys are as hyped as I am. The season is not even close yet. And I was already hyped by yesterday, man. If y'all didn't see the introductory presser, man, I enjoyed it every single moment of it, and we'll break it down to the people that didn't truly listen to it. Goddamn, he said the right things, man. You know, and there's a lot of things I want to talk about from that presser, because there's a lot of things to kind of digest and kind of take away from it. Also, shout out to everybody that's in here so far, man, and of course, shout out to Mad Max. Well deserved, man. Well deserved defensive player finalist. I think he deserves it, man. But hey, you know, they're probably going to give it to somebody else, but hey, he deserves it, and I'm glad he's a finalist. He deserves it 100%. Let me bring up, you feel me, my co-host, man. You already know what it is. You already know. My co-host for the 2-for-1 Nation podcast, man. The king of brown crackers. You already know what he is, man. My boy, RaiderTwuan in the building. What's good, Twan?
Hey, what's good? What's good? Blessings to everybody on the day. You know what I'm saying? It's two brothers from one nation. I always say that all the time, and it still stands true. Two brothers for one nation, and y'all know it's the Raider Nation. Blessings to everybody out there. I know I sound a little different, but hey, just keep me in y'all prayers. But hey, there's a whole lot to talk about today.
A lot to talk about. It's starting to heat up, and the actual 2023 season is still not over, and that's what's crazy. There's still like a divisional, and then it's the championships, and then it's the fucking Super Bowl, and we already got a lot of things to talk about already as far as the Raiders go, and it hasn't even hit its climax, I think. But shout out to everybody, man. Like I said, blessings to you guys and your families, man. Good to see everybody here on this Thursday afternoon, man. Regardless of where you're at, shout out to everybody, man, worldwide, here, everywhere. I appreciate you guys for being here, and of course, let me give a shout out to the people in the chat, man. Shout out to Robert Penna in the building. Lakers in 5. What's good? Good to see you guys, man. SoCal Sal. Raider Paul. What's good? Good to see everybody, man. Lewis. What's good? What up, SC and Twan? Let's go, Raider Nation. Stand up. You already know what it is. Anthony Estrada in the building. Paul, you already know, man. Sal again. Raider Resistance. What's good, Prez? Good to see you. Kevin Lurker in the building. What's good? Good to see everybody. Auntie Six Soldier in the building. What's good, Auntie Six? Good to see you. Hope all is well. Shout out to everybody that's getting that's in here so far. Elite GM, elite coach, elite defense. All we need is a quarterback, man. Hey, we go talk about it, man. Shout out to Tubby Chile. What's good, Chile? Good to see you, man. DeMarcus Webb also in the building. And if you can't see certain people's comment, it's because they're probably on the other channel. We're simulcasting on 2 different channels. They're both in the description. The SC Raiders Talk on the RaiderTwuan channel. So if you see somebody not reply to you or something, it's probably because they're on the other channel. So if you guys can, regardless of where you're at, hey, try to switch over and hey, salute over there. Say hi, whatever. Hit that like button as well, man. Help the algorithm push it forward. Shout out to Milka Beezy, man. Good to see you. Hope all is well. Shout out to everybody in here. Cool Kev. What's good, Cool Kev? Good to see you. Shout out to everybody in here, man. But let's get straight into it, right? Some Raider news. You feel me? A very simple Raider news. Number one, right? And there's only been one Raider news that's truly there, right? which this is kind of like a side one. I'm gonna say before I say the actual news. Cliff Kingsbury got it got requested to do an interview. So Cliff Kingsbury is somebody that's to monitor at that OC position. But the other Raider news and the only Raider news as far as Raider news goes is former Steelers assistant defensive back coach Gerald Alexander has been hired for the Raiders safety coach position, which it's a good thing, in my opinion. I mean, he was a part of an elite secondary. The Steelers have always had a really good secondary. I don't know if it had to do with TJ Watt and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, man, having a guy like that that has experience with a really good secondary is a great move. What you think about this move, Twan?
Yeah, I think definitely it's something to upgrade. You know what I'm saying? I like our safety room just in general. Um, but to upgrade the coaching of that actually makes things better. Who's their main safety over there? What isn't it Minka? You know what I'm
Minka
saying?
Patrick, yeah,
Look, whatever he was teaching him, you know what I'm saying? That can translate to, some knowledge to give to Epps and, Merrick. You know what I'm saying? People were talking bad about Merrick, you know what I'm saying, but he's definitely turned things around this past season. So to have you know, a secondaries coach that has coached high quality safeties, is definitely a plus. So I'm for it. I mean, jury's still out on it. You know what I'm saying? You can still give the side eye on it to see if this is really, if he really pans out. But from the surface, it looks good to me.
that's a fact. And of course, that's one staff hiring, y'all. It's not even done yet. They're still bringing in more guys, so I love to see that, man. And shout out to Raider Ben in the building. It was good, Raider Ben. Good to see you, man. Shout out to Chila, everybody coming in. Alex Martin, Raider fan. Good to see everybody in here, man. Like I said, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and with this hiring, obviously it's a step in the right direction. We're getting these people that are experienced with well-known players, that have experience with top Pro Bowl players, and you kind of see a trend with it, right? As much as we're a little, some people are 50-50 with Telesco. I will say after yesterday, I kind of got a little bit more relaxed. I think I'm a little bit 70-30 on the hiring now. And you may say, what changed your mind? It's everything that he said, right? And this kind of leads me to the next thing, right? And that's the Tom Telesco and Antonio Pierce introductory press conference breakdown, right? Yesterday, I don't know if you guys seen it. It was a big thing, right? It was like a 2 hour live because they were talking on the podcast, and then the introductory press conference happened. And there's some things to digest from it, man. And Circus Raider, that's the good thing that made me lay back, right? Apparently, he's not going to be the one doing the contract negotiations, so that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. That makes my life a lot easier when it comes to right being a little bit more back, right? Um, but obviously, oh, go
So
ahead.
with that,
Hmm.
it's been reported that the contract issues wasn't on wasn't on him. It was on one of Spanos's nephews or sons or something like that. It was a Spanos that was taking care of the money. You know what I'm saying? So that part of it really wasn't on him. And when you look at the structure of their team, they had Herbert, which was under what I call cheap labor. So because he's on cheap labor, you have a window in which you can make a really big push to try to get to the Super Bowl with the, because in most cases, we've seen it statistically, most NFL teams that make it to the Super Bowl or the rosters usually has a good quarterback under
Yeah,
rookie contract, and then they can free agency. They can spend a lot of money everywhere else to make up for it, right? So that's exactly what the Chargers did. Now, what really hit them is now Herbert's not under Herbert's not under cheap labor. That's where you're going to get hit. You know what I'm saying? So they made the push, but They couldn't get over the hump. And it really, to be honest with you, it really wasn't because of their personnel. It was really because of their coaching. So, and we'll talk more about it because I know we're talking about the GM.
Yeah, fact. Shout out to Alfredo in the video was good, man. He said, "You know what? I can't believe that the Spanos family is dog shit with their buddy." That's what it is, man. It came out that it's more them. Charles Washington was good. And AP, I trust. The surprise that was in the building when all the smoke cleared. Never knew you will ever find a diamond. There you go, man. Shout out to everybody coming in here, man. Blessings to you guys and your families, and of course, um, like I said, if you guys haven't checked out the press conference, please do. There's some interesting things to take and obviously, I'm gonna recite some of the things that were said, and I want to hear Twan's input and your guys' input on what they said, right? So obviously, Tom Telesco has a little bit of a track record with some Pro Bowlers, right? He was a part of the process of getting Keenan Allen, Justin Herbert, Derwin James, Joey Bosa, Rashawn Slater, all good people when they're healthy, right? You can't control somebody's health at the end of the day, but they were all Pro Bowlers at one time and one of the top in their positions. And this is the people that he gained, right? Um, so they talked about, hey, Telesco, pretty much how would you build a roster? What does a Tom Telesco roster look like? And he said this, right? As far as building the roster, you're working through the vision of the head coach. How does he want to play an offense? How does he want to play a defense? How does he want to play on special teams? And you built it that way. There's a lot of discussions, you work through things. We're going to be able to bounce ideas off each other. There's no specific way to build a team. I do believe in the draft, and everyone always says that anyways, but I do believe in the draft. But you also have to supplement that with free agency. You have to supplement that with trades. You have to supplement that with signing players that maybe are out of work or on the street looking for jobs and see if they can come and fit. That last part is something that I looked at and was like, you have to supplement with trades. You have to supplement with free agency. Our last GM was more specific on you build through the draft. This general manager says, hey, you build through the draft, obviously, but you also have to add on trades and add on free agency. So what you think about that, about him building a roster, Twan?
The sign that's called the saying that everybody knows within Raider Nation, and something we always throw around, good or bad, is the word or the phrase "just win, baby." What I heard from that was exactly that. No matter how, no matter where, just win. If we got to take care of it in the draft, that's where we're going to do it. If we got to take care of it free agency, even and if you noted, if those that watch the NFL, not just the Raiders, you've noticed over the landscape that they're even plucking guys that are in on ESPN, on the couch, in media, that still have a little juice left, and they're finding quality from those guys too. Same, and that, like you said, Joe Flacco, he was eating potato chips on his couch. Yeah. When he got the call, you know what I'm saying? I'm using that as an analogy, but he was sitting at home, so Telesco saying, hey, whatever AP wants, that's what AP is going to get. But with that being said, I'm going to look everywhere to get it done. And again, that goes to just win, baby.
Facts, man. Shout out to everybody that's joining us even more. Shout out to D Menace, Nutty Raider Nate. What's good? Freddie Chavez, Vitality Reaps. Good to see you guys, man. Facts, Kevin. First GM hired by us with an experience as a GM. Now, here's the thing, right? Shout out to Capitan Rafael, right? And this kind of goes for Tom Telesco, right? If you look at his track record, right, he had a say in the head coaches, obviously, right? And those head coaches have fallen in the charges. Now, if you guys kind of pay attention, and this is why I like to pay attention to everything, like every context clues and the timeline of stuff. If you pay attention, they hired Antonio Pierce before Tom Telesco, and Champ Kelly was in that room instead of Tom Telesco with the head coach interviews. Now, like I said, if you put 2 and 2 together, Tom Telesco hasn't had the best of, you feel me, track record and input with head coaches at the end of the day. So now if you put 2 and 2 together, they kind of kept Tom Telesco out of the loop when it came to the head coaching process as well. So that kind of shows you they're practically using the general manager's strength instead of his weaknesses. And that shows you, and I ain't gonna lie, I gotta give a little bit credit to Mark Davis on that one. And I know I've been bashing Mark Davis a little bit. He kind of is doing that with his process. He's using these guys' strength instead of their weaknesses. And that's smart, if you tell me. That is really smart. So
Eric, you hit it on the nail, and I think that's why our show just works so well. Mark Davis is, as much as we want to be frustrated with, some of the decisions he makes, et cetera, this one is actually a really good one. And how he went about it, like you said, one of the downfalls of Telesco was his selection of coaches. Guess what we got over here? We already have a head coach. Now, if AP doesn't work out, guess what? Mark Davis probably already has in mind what, every time a head coach comes up, oh, there's Harbaugh, oh, there's Gruden, oh, Mark Davis likes da-da-da-da-da. So obviously Mark Davis already has an idea on who he wants to bring in coaching wise. So he really doesn't have to lean on his GM for that. He's going to need to lean on his GM for other things. And hopefully, Champ Kelly stays with us, because I think some of the deficiencies that Telesco, as much as I like Telesco as a GM and what he did with the Chargers, in selecting players, some of his deficiencies, even in that, I think can get cleaned up by having Champ take care of the rest. Like, for an example, Telesco is really good at picking players on the top end of the draft. He's not so well at picking the bottom end of the draft. But guess what? Champ Kelly is actually really good at finding talent at the end of a roster. So if you put Telesco, if you say, kind of schedule, I don't want to say schedule it, but if you structure it where, hey, Telesco, you take care of the top half, and we'll lean on Champ to finish 5 through 7.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And do that would be, man, our GM team. And I think that's another thing that, people are not talking about, but something we definitely have to discuss is, I think that Mark Davis is trying to create a team where everybody's working at their specialty. You do your specialty, we all bring it together and we make it work. And I think if that's if what I'm seeing, or what I think I'm seeing, comes to fruition, we're going to be in a really good place.
Yeah, and like I said, there was a lot of things to take from that presser. That was very interesting. That was different than before. I'm trying to share my screen real quick. There was something in particular that has caught my eye, and you guys seen it all over Raiders Twitter, even the Raiders' actual Twitter. Now, I want you guys to pay attention to what Antonio Pierce says right here, because it's very different than what Josh McDaniels said, and you'll see the difference right away, right? Let me here we go. Look at this, right?
I'm honored. I'm excited. The challenge that this team took on from November 1st on, and what they embraced and what they displayed out on the field, is hats off to our organization and our coaches and our players for buying in. It wasn't easy. It was something that probably many people didn't think would happen, as you say, overnight. But when you have good people in the building, when you have the belief, you have the trust, you have the accountability, you earn respect, you do it the Raider way, you buy in, You understand that nobody's bigger than the shield and the patch, and that you play for a lot more than just the name on your back. There's a lot of people that we affect by wins and losses. We understand that, and we don't take it lightly.
This is one of them, right? There's two. I can't find the other one, but I'll talk about the second one, right? He said, we got to be realized that nobody's bigger than the shield. Nobody's bigger than the patch. He said, we do it the Raider way. We buy in to what the Raider way is, which we all know what the Raider way is. The commitment to excellence, just win, baby. All those things is exactly the type of coach that I wanted, right? Somebody that knows that philosophy. And that just shows me that, hey, I'm not here to just sit around and fucking be this hype and just be, hey, I'm for the people. Woo, go Raiders. He's here for business, man. To really go back to what was lost in the last decade and so. So, I mean that's something. I need to find the other one though. The other one was like very interesting. But yeah, it was I love it. Shit. Shout out to everybody that's in here, man. He said Jaden with Cliff or Jaden with Zach. Was good, was good. Good to see everybody in here, man. Jonathan was good. Two more names to add. Cliff Kingsbury and Jaden Daniels. I mean, I'm all for Jaden Daniels, to be honest. I've been falling in love with his tape. But I know he's only had like one really good season, so it kind of holds me back. But like he's got the ties. Cliff Kingsbury, obviously, a better offensive coordinator than obviously Bo. Let me see. Now that's what I like to hear from a GM. Work with the coach instead of being the coach's bitch like the last two regimes. No, that's a fact, man. Um, it's a fact. Ill intent. And I'm trying to find the other one. There was one more of what Antonio Pierce said that I enjoyed a lot, but I can't find it. Let me see if I could find it. Give me a second, y'all. What you think about that, Twuan?
Look, I'm buying everything that AP selling at this point. I like what is coming along. Definitely there's some questions, in regards to what's going to happen with our offensive line. I like the his attitude towards the way that he wants us to play. I like that he said, he's taking risk. He said that, and I'm just going back on my knowledge of what, the things he said in the press conference. He said he wants them to play with ill intent. You know what I'm saying? And those that know the old school Raiders and how we really used to get down. Yeah, we was out there with some ill intent. So I like that he's coming, with that intensity. It kind of reminds me, and I hate to say it like that, but it kind of just reminds me of Dan Campbell when he was talking about biting people's ankles or whatever. I forgot what he said, something about biting somebody's knees or something off, like that ill intent, you know what I'm saying? And just having his team meet that intensity. And I think even Telesco was talking about it, like, hey, whatever, pretty much, and I'm paraphrasing, whatever vibe, you know what I'm saying, our head coach is putting out there, that's how we gonna roll. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that he even as the GM is buying into, AP. I think in honesty, you want to ask whose team it is. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, I it's AP's team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think we're gonna move in the way that AP says we move. You know what I'm saying? The team just gotta fall in line.
Facts. And DeMarcus Webb said, SC and Twuan, who are your favorites for OC? For me, it's Cliff. I mean, I know a lot of people are kind of like backing up on Cliff, right? But obviously, he's got a little bit of a track record that I kind of said on the last, I think 2 shows ago. Uh, obviously, he's somebody that has been proven on the offensive side of the ball, and he wasn't proven as a head coach, right? Similar to Josh McDaniels. A guy that's a good coordinator, not a good head coach, and that's exactly what he is, and he proved it, right? So for me, you bring in somebody like Cliff Kingsbury, and then hopefully retaining Patrick Graham, and then Antonio Pierce. I think you got yourself a staff there, man. I think that's a good staff. That's a good coordinator, head coach. Hand in hand. Because at the end of the day, and we'll talk about it right now, there was another breaking news yesterday that had to go with a rival of ours from LA. That's very interesting. That just made the AFC West a civil war, a big ass war, a war zone. Which we'll talk about it right now, obviously. But what's your favorites for OC, Twan?
You said Kingsbury. I like Kingsbury. I think AP said it. He said it real quick in his in his comments in the press conference. He wants us to score at least 24 points. You know what I'm saying? So obviously he wants some points on the board, and I think Kingsbury is that guy that's proven to put some points. Put some points in that area. There is some other guys. I started to look at Zach Robinson. At offensive coordinator, I do like Bieniemy. I don't know how that's going to work out, or how that plays out. But that's definitely a guy that I know for sure can get this offense, rolling. And we just, again, I've said it. Any of these guys are going to be better than Bo Hardegree. You know what I'm saying? And no disrespect to Bo Hardegree, but we just need somebody in there that knows what they're doing, because we like I said, we got the pieces. We do. You know what I'm saying? We just gotta. We obviously, I think the move is we're going to get a quarterback. So whoever that offensive coordinator gets, whatever quarterback he wants, and fix that offensive line, and you got probably one of the best offenses in the league. You know what I'm saying? I think, honestly, last year our offense wasn't that bad. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for some of our inconsistencies in the offensive line of play, but we're really not that bad. That's why I'm glad that even in the press, and we're talking about the presser, going back to the press conference, because, Hondo talked about it. Hondo Carpenter, he said it to the GM. He's like, hey, you're coming into a team that's not really, most of the time a GM comes into a team that's a dumpster fire. We're not that. We're actually pretty close to where we need to be. We just need a couple of more pieces to take us over the top.
I feel that. He says Doug Gruden don't like rookie quarterbacks. He likes veterans. Oh yeah, that's Gruden. Gruden, I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's gonna join the Saints. I heard a lot of speculation that he might join the Saints, which is interesting. People hate Kingsbury. I'm surprised people hate Kingsbury because he's proven as an offensive coordinator. I don't know what the fuck. Y'all talking about like that offense was trash. It was trash when Kyler Murray fucking got injured. Like, no shit. When your starting quarterback gets injured, you're practically fucked. I mean, let's be honest. The Chargers, look at their offense when Justin Herbert went down. Garbage. Shit. Couldn't even put up points. Like, you feel me? Question to see, will Tom hire Cliff? He's more leaning to Zach Robinson, but Falcons hired Morris, so he's going there if Morris wants to. Yeah, I did hear Raheem Morris went to the Falcons, which is a good hiring for them, obviously. Which I don't really care. I don't think we play them, do we? Oh yeah, we do. And as far as Zach Robinson goes,
Raheem Morris as what?
Head coach for the
Oh, he's
Falcons.
actually head coach over there.
Yeah, I heard he's the head coach, if I'm not
Good.
mistaken. As far as Zach Robinson goes, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, that's the guy from the Rams offensive pass coordinator, whatever the hell the case may be. If I'm not mistaken, I
Who's
think
that?
that's who he is. Um, I think Zach Robinson's the guy that's with the Rams. I think he
Yeah.
was like the offensive pass coordinator or some shit. I mean, he's not bad either. I mean, the Rams did better than what I expected. I think you had to give a lot of credit to Sean McVay himself for that team. Just in all honesty, we thought they were done. They traded everything. They traded first round, second round picks to everybody else for that Super Bowl a couple of years back, right? And we thought they were done after that, right? They had no first, second, third rounds this year. They had the cap hell. They didn't have nothing. But they did it with fifth round picks. And that shows you that coaching goes a long way. Who thought Puka would have been the number one receiver in the rookie stage, bro? Who the hell was Puka before Puka? I didn't even know who he was. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't even have him on my wide receiver list in the top 25. So
He
that
was
shows you how much of a thing, right? Go ahead.
he was definitely victim of, the situation, right? He came into a perfect type of situation because when he came in, Cooper Kupp was hurt.
Was hurt.
So he was getting reps, you know what I'm saying? So that's where, Puka was able to show what he could do. And again, McVay, I like McVay. You know what I'm saying? I like him as a coach, you know what I'm saying, and how he is, his the way he, navigates things. I'm not mad at what they did to get to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? It was that time for them. It was like either we push and go all in, or we sit back and just wait. And they decided we're gonna push and go all in, and it worked for them. So you
Shout out to
can't be
Brady
mad
White.
at that.
He said Zach Robinson is a quarterback coach, passing coordinator. So I was right. For 4 years, Zach Taylor was the same and went to the Bengals Super Bowl against his teacher, Sean McVay. I remember that. For me, like I said, I wouldn't. I don't really. I mean, I don't want to say I don't really care. I do care at the end of the day. Um, but for me, obviously, anything is better than both. I mean, I hate to think that way, but that's the reality of it, right? Both of those guys, and Cliff Kingsbury and Zach Robinson, are both better than Bo, 10 times better than Bo, because they both know what the hell they're doing. Um, for me, obviously, I think it's just the style of football they want to play. Zach Robinson's is a different offensive coordinator. When it comes to the offensive coordinator aspect of things, he's different than Cliff Kingsbury, right? Cliff Kingsbury, we kind of know a good little bit of a vision as far as Cliff Kingsbury goes, because
Mhm.
Kyler Murray is like a mobile quarterback running, and who else is mobile and has ties to the Raiders already? Oh, Jaden Daniels. Wow, whoop de doo. Ain't that about something, right? So
Are you talking about the
obviously,
one? You talking about the one that was in our locker room?
the one that was in our locker room was at the Raider game, also kicking it with Antonio Pierce. Also said that he wanted to come to the dark side already. So that kind of throws other teams, hey, why should we go after this guy? If he wants to be a certain team. He already is wanting to be on a certain team. There's a lot of things, right? But for me, obviously, I don't mind the offensive coordinator. I think all the candidates so far, um, for the offensive coordinator spot is good to me. I think they're all. I think you can't go wrong with none of them, in my opinion. We all have opinions on the different ones, but for me, obviously, I think you can't go wrong with any of them. There's no way you fuck it up. I mean, in my opinion, there's no way. And then Brad Lab says, "What do you think about people saying Russell Wilson should go to the Raiders?" Hell no. Well, for me, it's a hell no. Me personally, it's a hell no. I can't do Russell Wilson, man. I said this last year. Maybe it's just because the Broncos had a horrible coach or whatever. I said Pete Carroll, the whole Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson era. Everybody was like, wow, is it Pete Carroll or is it Russell Wilson? To me, right?
Mm.
I always was vouching for Pete Carroll. I was like, Pete Carroll is the reason Russell Wilson succeeded in the way he did. Then he went to the Broncos, and what did he do? Just my so hell no to Russell Wilson, in my opinion. Hell no. He says Mac coming home. Y'all want Khalil Mack back? I don't know, bro.
Return,
But I, but
man.
I ain't gonna lie. I was about to say I'll be playing that song if it does happen. But bro, I just can't because Malcolm Kuntz is doing so good, bro.
At my question, well, and I'll say it like this to you, Eric, just to kind of be on the other side of it. We still need another pass rusher,
We do.
and with Khalil Mack, you can actually push him to the inside
You can.
because, like, okay, so for an example, you got Max Crosby on one side, you got Kuntz on the other side. Then what? Who else are you putting on the outside? Because Kuntz ain't Max Crosby. So that means, you know what I'm saying? Somebody's gonna have to take those reps.
Mhm.
So are you gonna slide Tyree back out there, or are you gonna keep him at defensive tackle?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I would say it like this. If we get Khalil Mack, it depends on how much we get him for. I need him. I need him to come down a couple of dollars. Okay.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Also, because he's not going to be out there all the time. I'll say it like that. He's not going to be out there all the time. But on those pass rushing downs, if you can put Kuntz, Tyree, Khalil Mack, and Max out there, it's a problem. Or if you put 5 down, because you can do that too, you can rush 5, get one of your bigger bodies, put Adam Butler out there because he's more of the pass rushing. He's been more of our pass rushing defensive tackle, and put 5 down and go after it. We got something. And we eventually need to get to a phase where we're rushing in waves, where we don't just got one team, one line of rushers. We got after Kuntz takes a seat, the guy that's coming in can rush just as good as him. And yeah, that having Khalil Mack would give us a whole lot of versatility out there.
I think if Patrick Graham leaves, Kevin Lurker, I think we could compensatory picks. If he leaves, I think you could still get more picks. I forgot who. I have to do my research on that, but we're projected like 4 compensatory picks or something. I need to look at it exactly, right? And as far as pass rushers go, and Khalil Mack himself, right? He's somebody that I'm not gonna pay. I mean, if you come back on, hey, I'm about to end my career. I want to go home. You know, at the end of the day, and I see some kind of somebody said here, right? Um, where is it? Oh my god, I just had it. I don't know where it went, but somebody said in the chat said something about, um, obviously, like, why would Khalil Mack come back if it was all a messed up situation that we did, right? Well, those guys that kicked them out are not here, right? The guys that have came in and that are on the organization right now are the ones that brought them in, right? And let me put this into speculation, right? I'm not saying it's 100% guaranteed, right? But at the end of the day, it's something to look at, right? Tom Telesco brought Khalil Mack to the Chargers last season from free agency, right? Who brought Khalil Mack to the Chicago Bears? Who was a part of that regime at the time? Our other general manager, Champ Kelly. So if you look at it, the 2 guys that are in our facility right now are the 2 guys that trusted Khalil Mack. They're not the guys that got rid of him. They're the ones that brought him in.
And the issue that Khalil Mack had was in regards to race. And guess what? We ain't got here now with AP being the head coach is issues with race. There was a lot of reports out there in regards to the whole stand and kneel, and that's where that Khalil Mack stuff started to get really shaky. And yeah, so we ain't got to worry about that anymore. And I think and get ready, because I think there is going to be some free agents that are going to want to come because of who we have a head coach.
That's a fact. And obviously this is like a talking point, right? I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna say this again because I know people are gonna be like, damn, look at this guy, he's making a narrative. Man, I'm not somebody to do into narratives, but I will say it's always a possibility. Anything is possible. If I'm being honest, anything is possible at the end of the day in life. So that's what I look at it about these certain players that have ties to what we have in the facility. And that's why I talk about Khalil Mack, because he's one of them that has ties to what we got right now. Am I saying, hey, it's gonna happen, y'all? Hey, I'm predicting it's gonna happen. No, not at all.
And
me personally, I want Malcolm Kuntz to keep being there, and I think he's got the energy to play every down, and I think he's a guy that you can't fuck up progression. But at the end of the day, you got to talk about, hey, these are possibilities. They are possibilities at the end of the day. And shout out to Snoops Hernandez coming in here, man. Shout out to Queen Raider at entering the building. What's good? Good to see you. Hope all is well. Shout out to everybody coming in here. Hopefully I don't skip anybody. But obviously, right,
that
Khalil Mack. Yeah, go ahead.
no, I think that situation, even sitting here thinking about it,
Mhm.
one of the things that um comes to mind too is, you know, Mac didn't like Gruden either.
Mm,
And guess who's over in San Diego?
mm.
Somebody that's like Gruden. So it might be a situation like that too. Hey, I ain't liking this guy over here. Get me
Shout out
out
to
of here.
Dirty Eric. What's good, Dirty Eric? Good to see you. Shout out to everybody coming in here, man. But obviously, going back to a little bit of the press conference. There's another thing I wanted to show you guys, and I love this, and I'll show you why I love this. Right? I'm gonna play it for you guys. Oh, why isn't it stuff?
Win a division. Get into the playoff.
Let me rewind this. Here you go.
Our vision is clear. Win a division. Get into the playoffs and host that Lombardi Trophy. That's not a promise. That's our vision. Our philosophy is simple. It's real simple. It's the Raider way. Pride, poise, passionate, a love for the game, and just win.
Now you may say, Eric, what's so great about what he said? What's great about it is he said it's not a promise, it's our vision. That's what I like. He's being real. He's not like, hey, I'm gonna promise you guys a Lombardi trophy, and then we hold him to that, and then he doesn't succeed and it fails. That's the same thing with Josh McDaniels, right? He kind of promised us a lot of fucking things and it didn't happen. When Antonio Pierce is saying, hey, our vision is this, the Lombardi trophy. Our vision is to win the AFC West. Our vision is to be the top of the division. Our vision is to do it the Raider way and just win. It's our vision, not our promise. And that's key because the vision is there. Now they're gonna go through that path of getting that vision, wanting players that, hey, it's just winning, going out there and giving it all. You're all having fun, playing the kids' game, and going out there and giving what the fan base deserves, and that's to just win. And that's what I loved about that certain part of the presser as well, because he practically said it's not a promise, it's a vision, and I love that, man. I love that. That's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear no, I promise you this and I promise you that. I want, hey,
Mm.
what's your vision? Tell me what is your vision for this team? There you go. He said it.
and
So
and and I think the vision is realistic. You know what I'm saying? I think in the way that he put it out there, he made it realistic. He said, "Hey, this is what we want to do." It's not saying that we're going to, could be all the way there. You know what I'm saying? Or but that's what we're trying to get to. And how many times have we been sitting here hearing all the hindsight, all the fake promises and stuff like that. He wasn't, you know and I think that's, some of the stuff he's been saying to us. I can only imagine the things that he tells, how he talks to these players. I think he talks to the players just the way that he was talking in the press conference. I think he, tells them, hey, this is really what it is. You suck. You need to tackle better, or whatever the situation may be. And I think that's why these players gravitate to him, is because he's not giving them false promises or false hopes or anything like that. He's telling them like it is. And you know the result is definitely in their hands.
that's a fact. Bring Yannick back on a team friendly deal. I think Yannick got done dirty, bro. I don't think he's gonna come back. Um, and I'm always and I'm glad Queen said it there. He's a realist, and I'm always a person that appreciates realism, right? The realistic people that be realistic. Last year, a lot of people were being unrealistic. They were kind of putting AOC at the level of, hey, we want you to be Patrick Mahomes. Bro, come on. Everybody relax. AOC was not supposed to be this goddamn our Lord and Savior, goddamn 10 touchdowns a game, 500 yards a game. Like, people were expecting so much from a guy that wasn't even supposed to be in that position. We were supposed to have in a lot of people's eyes, a winner at the quarterback position. Why the winner was better than our 8-year quarterback, 8-year old quarterback, because he's a winner. What the fuck did the winner do, bro? Like, please. They even gave him a shot in the last game. Hey, come out here, play a drive, because AOC is injured. His first throw was 30 feet above the receiver's hands. Hold on, bro. Like, I'm about to stand up and get out of the room, bro. What the?
Oh, you talking about the same quarterback that couldn't throw it to the flat to his tight end?
Jimmy G proved my point. Shit. Hey, Jimmy G Jimmy G, I appreciate you because you proved me right. You proved me that you have to build the team no matter who's under the helm. That a team around you could go a long way for any quarterback.
We say that all the time.
Literally. Like, look at the Niners. Where are they at right now? Again at the NFC Championship. Who would have thought that Brock Purdy was a goddamn good quarterback? Why is he so good? Oh, I don't know. Because he got a Deebo Samuel that runs wide receiver screens and runs good yard after catch. You have Brandon Ayuk that's good yards after catch. You have George Kittle that could catch the ball in possession. You have a good offensive line. Like, damn, he's got pieces around him so he could succeed. Us? I said it last year, and I'm tired of saying it continuously because people keep hating on it, and people were saying it's an excuse. I said the offensive line was garbage. You're just making an excuse, Eric. Oh my God, you're such a fanboy. Oh, am I a fanboy now? I'm not even an offensive line offensive line position coach or a coach in football or stuff like that, right? But even I noticed it. What does that say to the people that were actually vouching for this offensive line, that were actually... That's all I gotta say, right? You know, it's just funny to me, right? I kind of laugh at it.
You talking about those people that were wrong twice? Because they were wrong about the offensive line because they were trying to get rid of a quarterback, and then they were wrong again about the quarterback that came in because they thought that quarterback was going to be was a winner and was way better than the other quarterback, right? Okay, sorry.
He said exactly. Jimmy G wasn't the problem. Okay, relax there. Jimmy G was the problem. How do I tell you? He overthrew and underthrew so many balls. I pause on that, right? He said SC only a fan, but when it comes to Lakers, USC, and Dodgers, God damn, all lies. What's up with you, man? You're a fanboy of Fresno State, bro. I know you were, man, when USC gave those Fresno boys belt. Gave them belt. Gave them the belt. SC, Caleb Williams. Hey, all eyes hates Caleb Williams, but if there's one thing, Caleb Williams put 4 touchdowns on them Fresno State boys. I'll tell you that. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie. USC is fucked next season. By the way, USC is fucked next season. We lost half of our receivers. We lost our quarterback, and yeah, we're going to a shitty situation in the SEC. He says, kick back, Eric. Look at Gravy. Right when I talk about Fresno, Gravy pops up. What's good, Gravy? But back to track, obviously. There's a lot of things to go down about the introductory paradigm. But now let's go on to one of the biggest things that happened, Twuan. The AFC West War Zone. Now, you may think, what is the AFC West War Zone? Well, another head coach that didn't get interviewed by us, but was very speculated to become our head coach, went to our rivals. Jim Harbaugh, national champion winner, winning record in the NFL, has gone to the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, how do you guys feel about that as Raider fans? For me, bring it on. Let's go. Competition. Let's do it. That's all I could say. Because I'm not one of the. I see a lot of Raider Nation right now kind of being like, oh, we're going to be last in the division now. Relax. Relax. Chill. They said we were going to be last in the division last year. Relax. Relax, bro. Relax. You got to relax. But Jim Harbaugh is a good head coach. I'm not going to give it away from that. They are a good coach. They are a good. He's a good head coach. He's a proven head coach. He's going into a situation where they're in cap help, and not only that, they got to pay their players. Practically, you know what it is? It's a Saints problem. That's what it is. That's exactly what they're going through. So for me, am I scared of the Chargers? No, I've never been scared of the Chargers. Am I saying that the AFC West is going to be a tough division to win? Yeah. Yes. And that's why this offseason is going to show a lot from these Raiders, man. Because now you got to bring on, hey, we're going to bring the best players that fit our best needs. And we're going to come out here and show, hey, you're going to think we're last in the division. We're going to show you that we're better than what you're saying. So that's going to be I know AP ain't scared because last time I remember, he went 3-1 against AFC West opponents. So, what the rookie quarterback, a 4th-round rookie quarterback, by the way.
I'm not worried about Harbaugh. For the reasons you said, they got cap issues, and guess what? When we talked about Harbaugh coming over here, what did we say Harbaugh was going to do? Wipe out the team and start all over. Guess what he's going to have to do over there? Wipe out the team and start all over. Of course, there's going to be some pieces that he's going to keep, but they ain't got no money. So you ain't got no money. That means you can only really build through the draft. How long is that going to take? So, yeah, they got a better coach. On paper, right now, their roster looks good. They've always and that's a positive for Tom Telesco. Tom Telesco always had a good. The Chargers always look good on paper. You know what I'm saying, in regards to who they got and stuff like that. But I ain't got no worries.
That's what June 1st is for. Yep. And I wouldn't doubt it if they trade away Jimmy G. I'll tell you that much. As far as the Raiders go, there's no reason to keep Jimmy G here. But as far as the AFC West goes, I do predict that it's going to be the best division in the AFC. I think I could for sure say that. All great head coaches at the end of the day, man. At the end of the day, we're going to be underdogs again, which, hey, we're used to it, right? We're used to it. I don't care. At the end of the day, you got proven head coaches on the other side, right? You got like Andy Reid, Jim Harbaugh, obviously. And then, actually, you have 2. Wait, who's the Am I tripping? Who's the Broncos head coach again? I forgot. Oh, Sean Payton, my bad. Sean Payton. You got 3 proven head coaches at the end of the day, right? In their track record of all their NFL things, right? 3 of them. And then you have AP, was an intern last year, now coming into a situation where he's the head coach. And of course, we're gonna be underdogs to everybody, which I'm cool with. I love being the underdog. I love that. I'd rather be the underdogs than favorites. But if you think for a second, and I know a lot of people are saying that, I know Gravy said it in there. If you think for a second AP is scared, you're highly mistaken. And I don't know why yesterday it disappointed me that once Jim Harbaugh was signed to the Chargers, people were saying, oh, the Raiders are fucked. Oh, the Raiders, GG's next season. Like what, bro? Relax, like relax. You feel me? We still got to see how the teams are built, and we still got to see what they possess on the coordinator spot.
They don't have the resources.
They don't got the exactly. They don't
and
got the
and
resources.
and it the only way you can actually build in California, and people talk about this too. The only way you can build in California is if you're winning. The free agents ain't trying to go to California and spend a quarter of their check in taxes. That ain't popping for them. So to go to LA for the worst of the LA teams and still get taxed like that, free agents ain't trying to go over there. So good, I don't want to say good luck, but dang, like look at the factors. Really look at the factors. They're not. It ain't gonna be popping for the Chargers. So I honestly, just my early prediction of where we are with the Raiders, I think we'll be second or third in our division.
For me, I'm not giving
Pushing first.
I think that we have a good shot at first. I think we proved it this year with all the messed up things that happened to us. We still ended up second. Um, I think for me, I gotta see how the team is built before I kind of say the whole prediction as that goes. But I do believe we have a fair shot, man. I think everybody in this division has a fair shot. And at the end of the day, I think the AFC West the AFC in general is going to be a very competitive next year, more competitive than this year, way more competitive. Teams are getting better. Teams are starting to find their identity. We're one of those teams that are finding our identity slowly. It's goal time now next season. And for me, I'm excited for the next NFL season already, and this one hasn't even ended yet. I'm very excited. I'm very excited for the Senior Bowl. I'm very excited for the off season. I'm very excited for free agency. I'm very excited for the NFL draft. This is the most I've been excited in a while for the off season goes. The off season before Josh McDaniels came in, I was a little bit excited. I will say that because it was like, oh, what we're gonna do? What is the thing? Now I'm very excited. You know, and only time will tell with all of this, man. And
Harbaugh got to learn how to coach pros that get paid. It's different. It's different from coaching college guys that have to listen to you. Either they can go to the portal or listen to you because they know that they got to they're trying to make it to the NFL. But some of these guys that's making money, yeah,
I know he got
Harbaugh might wear out his welcome quick with these players, or you'll find some of their top guys wanting out. And we've already heard some of their key guys already talking about wanting out. Eckler last year was talking about he wanted out. There goes one of their key pieces. You know what I'm saying? It might just be Herbert and a bunch of rookies over there.
Yeah. So for me, obviously, I'm not scared. You guys shouldn't be scared. The Raider Nation shouldn't be scared like they were yesterday. Like at the end of the day, hey, good job for you guys, Chargers. I don't care. Like we gonna compete too. Don't act like we're out of the mix. Just because we don't have a huge name in the media eyes. We don't have a huge name at head coach in the media's eyes. The media's eyes like the Jim Harbaughs, the Sean Paytons, the Andy Reeds. Look at people like Antonio Pierce because at the end of the day, his name doesn't hold weight in the NFL media, and it sucks because he deserves it. But best believe that's the media, like the media as far as ESPN stuff like that. But then when you look at podcasts with players, for example, Ocho Cinco, Charles Woodson, I could keep going down the line. All these guys have had nothing. Players that used to play in other teams that are legends are praising Antonio Pierce. Why, you may ask? Because he's a guy that knows what it means to be a Raider, what it takes to be a Raider. and has a vision for the team. You can ask for nothing more. And then all you need is some good coordinators next to him. And I ain't gonna lie, yo, I think Patrick Graham returns. With Patrick Graham being at the press conference, Antonio Pierce kind of smirking, saying, hey, it's good to see Patrick Graham again. Kind of smirks. And then a little bit of speculation that he might return. I think Patrick Graham returns, man. Just because he likes what's going on here. And at the end of the day, he wants full control, and he's going to have full control of the defense. So we're going to see what happens at the end of the day, right? We're going to see what happens. So we're going to see what happens, right? There's a lot of things. There's a lot of questions that, hey, subscribe to both of us. Hey, there's going to be a lot of breaking news, too. I wouldn't doubt it if we trade some players away. I wouldn't doubt it. I think, and I'm going to bring this saying back. I said this saying before, and it worked, and I'm going to say it again. Something's brewing. And it's coming from the autumn wind. So, only time will tell with that. Let me see. We go see what happens, though. You know, it's a lot of things to talk about as far as that goes. A lot of what is Josh Jacobs going to happen? What is Renfro? You know, even Adams talk. Offensive line. What's going to happen? You feel me? Those are all questions to be answered, and they will be answered soon. Shit. But yeah, I think that, anything you wanted to add on? I don't know what else I'm missing.
I think we'll be in a good place in regards to the AFC West. Yeah, it's going to be interesting just when you look at the names of the coaches, et cetera, et cetera. But I think the coach we got is the right coach for us. I know some people were opposed of AP for reasons, and that's perfectly fine. But I think for what we have right now and where we're trying to go, I think AP is that guy. And if they do what I said, put people in their specialties, I think we'll be good. I really do. I can't wait till we see our offensive coordinator.
Shout out to Lewis, man. I appreciate that $5 super chat. Means a lot, man. Pierce said it to his players during the KC game. Squeeze them by the throat. That's a Raider. That hard-nosed football that smacked in the mouth, right? And shout out to Lewis for the $5 super chat again. I appreciate that. But as far as and I said this about the head coaching process, right? Every team is different. Some teams are rebuilding. Some teams are at the playoff level. Some teams are that. Some head coaches, just like players are good in certain systems that work for them. Head coaches work in certain teams that are built in a position on where the head coach's strengths are at. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Their strength. It's the same thing. And Antonio Pierce is a great head coach for what position the Raiders are in right now. That's what I meant. Just like Jim Harbaugh is in a great position over there with the Chargers, because at the end of the day, with the Chargers being a cap and stuff like that, he wants to take over a team. That's a team he could take over. Same thing with Sean Payton, right? Over there. And then Andy Reid, obviously, he's been there for a while. He's going to continue being with them. But yeah, so Twuan, let them know where they can find you. Any lives coming up, videos, stuff like that. Stuff they need to know.
Yeah, I'm definitely, you guys that are over there on the SC Raider Talk, come over to RaiderTwuan and click the subscribe button. I know there's a whole lot of you guys that have not done so please come over and click that subscribe button. Join the best chat that YouTube has to offer, and that's the congregation. Shout out to the congregation. I'm actually working on, I'm cooking up some stuff, even with getting out of some dental surgery, but I'm working on a video that I'll be dropping very shortly on my thoughts on not all my thoughts, but a good amount of my thoughts on our new GM, Tom Telesco. So definitely you want to not miss that. And I have a whole bunch of lives and content I do. I go live Tuesdays and obviously Thursdays. So I have those for sure. And then I go live at random and I join other people's lives and et cetera, et cetera. So definitely hit me up on IG. All content creators, please hit me up on IG. If you want to either be a part of my show or you want me to be on your show, I'm here to collab with all. So definitely hit me up on IG at Twuan, TWUAN. Please be an organ donor. If you guys have not, please go to your local DMV. If you guys want that information, it is over at RaiderTwuan in the descriptions of all my videos and lives on how you can be an organ donor. And I always say this at the close of my videos is you're a blessing. Be a blessing to someone else.
Facts. And shout out to Gam110, man. Good to see you. And if you guys can, like I said, hit that like button, please. It's free. It helps the algorithm. We got 50 plus in here combined. So if you guys can't hit that like button for the both of us, subscribe if you're new as well. And you feel me? It'll just help the algorithm in general, and it's free. That doesn't mean anything. So if you guys can hit that like button on the way out, man, I'll greatly appreciate it. For me, obviously, the one thing that's always going to be the same is the Thursday shows, which is this one on 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 5:30 Eastern. As far as the other one goes, it usually varies. I mean, sometimes it's Mondays, but I don't really like doing Mondays. It's usually Tuesdays or Wednesdays, so peep for that, right? Tuesdays or Wednesdays, I go live. Same time, same place, same time as this one, 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's kind of like my time frame when it comes to it. I used to be 5:30. But now with all the situations I can't be 5:30 no more. So that's what the pretty much it is. If I do a live, it's at 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, most likely. Um, I have a lot to bring to the channel soon. Like I said, a lot of draft profiles, stuff like that is coming to the channel, shorts and stuff like that. I'm getting used to editing, so I gotta get used to that. I have the college all 22 film, so it's gonna be very interesting and it's gonna be exciting to show you guys that when I make those YouTube shorts. And besides that, man, just hit that bell notification. And then if you never get those notices, it's probably because you already had it pressed and YouTube just f's it up. All you gotta do is again unclick the bell notification and then click it back every week, which is annoying. I know it's annoying, but if you want all things like that, I know I have a lot of people that hit that bell notification. Kind of tells me a large amount, but I don't see everybody because obviously YouTube has messed that up. So if you guys can't just unclick it and click it back. But on the way I hit that like button, like I said, I'll be back next week, either Tuesday or Wednesday, same time, same place. Also on Thursday, 2 for 1 Nation podcast. You already know, man. Same time, same place. And on that note, y'all, enjoy your guys' weekend that's coming up. Blessings to you guys and your families. Don't drink and drive, please. And life is too short, so always tell your loved ones you love them. And I appreciate you guys, man. Blessings to you guys and your families, man. This was another 2 for 1 Nation podcast, man. And hey, get ready, man. Get ready, because we still got a lot of news that are gonna come up. I promise you that, man. And it's always about one thing, and it's the shield, man. Remember, nobody's above the shield, and never will. And we all ride for the shield. So you already know. Just win, baby. Commitment to excellence, and that's what we're starting to do. We got we got our swagger back, and hey, it starts off in these audiences. So on that note, y'all, this was the SC Raiders Talk. Also, your boy RaiderTwuan, man, with another episode of the 2 for 1 Nation podcast, man. Have a great night, y'all. Great afternoon, wherever you are. And great morning in some places in the other world, in the outer Americas. But shout out to you guys, man. And we are out. Peace.
Is the will to win. Is the will to win.
Your commitment to